Hi everybody, my name is ThePlantyGamer. I go by Planty for short, and we stream everything and anything here in the greenhouse, from special effects makeup to unhinged Zillow bingo, crafting, gaming, and chatting, and everything else in between. I typically stream on Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. for my East Coasters, and we're just happy to have anybody who lurks, chats, or just wants to chill and play bingo.
Hello, welcome in everyone. I'm Watch Holly. This is the ThePlantyGamer. We're doing season 4 of my interviews where we are talking about offline content and how to grow while you're not streaming. So Planty, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So I actually stumbled onto Twitch back in early 2022. So a friend of mine was actually streaming their workouts, and they were like, Planty, hey, you know, you love marketing, you're a huge nerd, you love gaming, why not put them together? So I did. It took me about a month, though, I'll be honest, because the username was the worst. Me and my friends went through hundreds, going from the garden's guard, the groundskeeper. We just tried to find different ones, and unfortunately, it was coming up short. So one day we were just sitting on the back porch, and they're like, ThePlantyGamer. You're mixing your nature, you love your plants, you have 171 at the time. Let's do that. Let's do the gaming atmosphere to do that gaming content and put them together. And voila, I started on March 1st of 2022 with a projector, an Xbox XS, and a very super old HP laptop. However, when I first... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, well, it was on a projector?
Yes, it was on a projector. I didn't even have a TV. I was upstairs. It was terrible. So like when it was in the summertime at 7 p.m., it was still daylight. I'm just like looking. I'm
my
like
God.
trying to use my glasses to see everything. Could not.
Oh my God, that's so funny. What the heck? I feel like we all started in like a janky situation though, with like a random laptop and maybe not a projector, but
It was rough. It was rough. Okay. I didn't even know what OBS was at the time.
Yeah.
I think I used this like online browser one that was Lightstream, I believe.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So it didn't even have overlays. I didn't even know what overlays meant at the time.
Yeah, I know. I
I
was right there with you when I first started. I was just streaming for my friends. Like I didn't even know like literally anyone else could actually find me. Like I didn't realize it was out there that way. And then someone came in and did like exclamation mark commands or something. And I was like, why was the exclamation mark at the beginning? Like it should have been at the end. They're like, no. Like like I was so
That's not how it works. This is how it works. I didn't know what lurk meant. I was like, what is lurk? Are they calling me a name? Am I a lurk? What does this even mean? I felt like such an elder millennial that I was like, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's get into kind of offline content real quick. So tell me, do you post on social media, or what's your offline content strategy in order to grow while you're not streaming?
Yeah, so I usually use TikTok and Twitter, hands down. TikTok has been a really good area for me, especially with my special effects makeup looks, doing some trending sounds, playing with some things, making some humor onto that platform. I've gotten a lot of conversion from that, as well as Twitter, which is also known as X. That's been a great platform for me to be able to convert into networking, trying to find other streamers, rather than just using the Twitch's discoverability algorithm.
Yeah, no, definitely. We still call it Twitter.
Yeah, we still... X is not my real dad. He's not my real dad.
Oh my God. So as you're posting on TikTok and all of those, and maybe Twitter, I don't know. Do you get your Twitch VODs? What's your like content pipeline? And then do you post it there, or do you create new content and then post it there?
So I do a little bit of both, actually. So I usually take the clips that my community or I myself highlight into my VODs and try to use that with some trending sounds, some captions, some funny moments I already have. Because, you know, like the housing market, good bones usually have a good way to, you know, renovate that. I also do like new content, especially with my makeup looks. I recently just did Darth Maul, and we did a lot of fun things with some trending sounds, and it seems to be working really well. So I'm going to keep it.
Nice. Oh, good. Well, since we're on the topic of trending sounds, do you say you use them, and how do you find them? And do you go with the trends normally?
Sometimes, honestly, it really gets a mix up. I really try to find the trends that are going to fix my brand and my niche. Like, I just want to have like a random thing that doesn't apply to what I usually am and what I align with. And how I find them is usually, scrolling through my own For You page, or I use creators who are already using these contents to help other content creators find these trendings. One of my favorite ones is Keith Talks. He does a really good job of finding some trending sounds and seeing how you could put it with your content.
Oh, nice. I like that. Okay. Keith Talks. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. So
good to
Keith
know.
_ Talks is his TikTok, and
Okay.
he does a really good job. Media a la carte, NYC is also a really good one. They do a really good job. Some of these creators do try to do like a little program behind the scenes.
Right.
That's all up to people's discretion, but most of their free content on TikTok has been really beneficial for me.
Oh, that's great. No, that's good to know. Good. And then how often do you post when you do post on social media?
So I try to do at least once a week. My biggest thing is being intentional rather than burning yourself out by posting daily. The algorithms are going to pick that up as well and understand that you're trying to go into those niche audiences rather than going through a broad audience, because you don't want to do something that's oversaturated. You don't want to do an audience that's like, oh, I'm going to go hit all the Twitch. So you're going to be buried behind the millions and millions of other people who are trying to do the same thing and trying to find those more niche markets. Like for me, it's that special effects or that reaction content.
Yeah, no, I like that. Definitely. And not just like hashtag Twitch, because everyone's hashtag Twitching.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what's your best performing piece of content and why do you think it worked?
Oh, for sure. So my best one and one of my favorite ones too has been my Silent Hill nurse cosplay. I did it with a kind of fun trending sound and I posted it right in last October, when the Silent Hill remaster came out. So I think we're having both people looking for that gameplay, seeing that, and I got some like spooky movements and weird vibes from it that really draw people in for that.
No, I love that. Oh, that's so good, because you were thinking of like, oh, like Silent Hill is already trending. And they're like, let me do a cosplay. Like I could do that. It's around October. Like all of it kind of aligned perfectly.
Oh, it was like everything aligned. The stars were in my favor that night
yeah.
when I posted it.
Oh my God, I love that. Ooh, we're really thinking of all the ways. Okay, so beyond just social media, do you do anything else in order to grow offline?
So I try to do a lot more networking. So my biggest thing is I also do professional networking offline in my day job. So what I've learned from that is that what you bring to the table is often just as important what you're going to get out of that table. So just jumping into streams with the intention of self-promote or to try to get something out of that person typically won't build that networking pipeline. What actually builds that networking pipeline is building authentic relationships with people, showing that you care about their content, finding people that you do care about. And sometimes they become your friends, your moderators, or just people that you can brainstorm with for your own content.
Definitely. And you were talking about everything that you've been doing to post. Do you have any apps that help you edit or keep track of posting or AI things, anything at all?
Yes, so my favorite is CapCut Pro. One of the main reasons is that way I can do it from my PC and then go into my bed and with my iPad with my headphones on, watching my show while I'm doing the editing as well, because energy is a huge thing. I do work a full-time position outside of this, so trying to find time to edit outside of that and being at the computer, shrimping in my little desktop chair can be a little bit hard.
Definitely, yeah.
And also with the CapCut Pro, you get so many more tools with the Pro version as well. It helps you with the AI generated captions, because captions are huge. Not only does it make your videos accessible for others who can't have the sound off, but also for those who might be at work settings or meetings and they're just, sneaking in some TikTok time and you need to be able to read something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I find myself whenever like I'm out in public, like my audio is not on. And if I find a video where I can't read the captions, I'm like, well, I have to scroll because I'm going to the next one till I can.
Exactly. And the great thing too is about TikTok is that they actually have a closed captioning feature. So as long as you're looking at those and those who have that turned on, that's just as good as having those captions being put on like from CapCut Pro.
Tis true. So as you're editing in your bed, watching your favorite show, are you kind of creating a hook to your videos, like a little piece that kind of like grabs the attention of people? And what's like a formula that you swear by?
So for me, it's really what's going to grab the attention. So a lot of my makeup ones, there's not a lot of editing to do because right when that reveal happens is right within those first 2 seconds. Now for gaming wise, I really try to do some sort of humor, a funny moment, any sort of trending sounds that's really going to grab their attention. The goal is really to spark that curiosity and have that viewer stop scrolling because TikTok is very quick, very, very quick. And you want them to be able to pause and say, wait, what's going on here? So having that weird hook line for me is going to be that humor or those makeup looks.
Yeah. And for the humor, like give me an example of like what would that look like for you?
So for me, it would be like, we actually had one from Repo that said, what's your name with a Tony and Ezekiel? And that seemed to go really well for me. And doing that right off the bat has worked really, really well for me.
Oh my God.
So for those ones, I actually had captions. I put in funny things. My laugh is very obnoxious. Sometimes it sounds like a duck. Or a goose honking. So we put the little goose head that pops up on there sometimes too.
It's not obnoxious. No, of course not. That's so good.
So
I love that.
What we do for that.
Yeah. No, good. And then using just editing to your advantage as well too, and like leaning into those. Definitely. Maybe I would put like a hyena on mine or something. I don't know. Okay, so how do you analyze your content once you do post it? And this is not like your stats when you go live, but like the TikTok algorithms and things like that. Do you look at that at all?
Yes, I do. So the creative dashboard on TikTok is really helpful because it actually allows you to look at the watch time for your community. So you can actually see when people drop off, and that way you can also see like why are they dropping off at that certain point? Is it not engaging in the first couple seconds? Am I doing something kind of that's weird or anything like that in the midway through, and be able to resurface and re-edit possibly to repost that content on a later date?
I like that you said re-edit, because if your video doesn't do super well at the beginning, it doesn't mean just trash it and then you'll never use it again. But like look at the data like, oh, well, maybe I just need to make a little tweak and then it's gonna, I don't want to say go viral, but do better.
Exactly. And that also helps with like your impressions and likes too, because then you can see what's really converting people. Because that's another really good tool with TikTok. You're actually able to see when they start liking or when they start commenting on your content as well. Because then that you can see like, oh, well, that really worked. I'm actually really funny. So let's just use that content.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so well, my last question is, what advice would you give any other Twitch streamers trying to break into the short form content?
Don't overthink it. We are big overthinkers and we want to have perfection right off the gate, and you're not going to have that. And that's okay. I have had so many TikToks, YouTube shorts that have completely flopped. But you know what's the difference is that I tried it. It's not about gaming the system, rather than trying to find content that's going to interact, engage, and convert those communities from TikTok over to Twitch. And also when the burnout hits, because it will, give yourself space. Making sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally is going to be so much huge, because when you come back to your content with your editing, your clarity and creativity comes back in full force.
Definitely. Wow. Well, you did amazing. Thank you so freaking much for this. We're gonna say goodbye to YouTube, and then I'll say goodbye to you afterwards. Okay?
Perfect. Sounds great.
Well, thank you guys. Planty. Yes. Okay. Let's say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.